explore our world, the solar system.
Let's start. Our solar system is made up of the 8 planets that orbit our Sun. There is the inner solar system with the terrestrial planets made of rock: Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. There is also the outer solar system with the gaseous planets made of gas: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. The solar system has also got dwarf planets, moons, comets and asteroids that orbit our Sun. Let's take a first look at our amazing solar system. The Sun. In many ancient civilizations, the Sun was very important. The ancient Greeks called the Sun Helios. In ancient Egypt, the god of the Sun was Ra. Every morning, Ra traveled across the sky in a bright boat. He wanted to see all of his lands. Then in the evening, Ra died. The story of his trip every day explained why the Sun moved across the sky. The Romans called the Sun Sol, which in English means sun. This is why our system of planets is called the solar system. We cannot live without the Sun. The Sun gives heat and energy to Earth. Our plants even use sunlight to make food. The Sun is not a planet. It is a star. It is in the center of our solar system, and it is an almost perfect sphere. It seems bigger and brighter than other stars because we are so close to it. The Sun and all the other stars are made of hot gas.
The Sun. Size: about 1,400,000 kilometers across. How many Earths can fit inside the Sun? 1,300,000. Fast fact: the light from the Sun reaches Earth in only 8 minutes. This is called the speed of light. The Moon. There is nothing quite so beautiful as a full moon on a clear night. The light of the moon is like a magic lantern in the sky. But what is the moon? The moon is Earth's only natural satellite. A satellite is an object in space that orbits around a bigger object. The moon is smaller than Earth. It travels around Earth every 27.3 days, almost once a month. The moon hasn't got its own light. It reflects the light from the sun. we only see the part of the moon that the sun lights. Sometimes we see all of the moon, the full moon, and sometimes we only see part of the moon.
The moon, named after the ancient Greek name for the moon, Mene. Size, 3,475 kilometers across. How many times it can fit inside Earth? 50.
Some of the other planets in our solar system have also got moons. In fact, some have got more than one.
Fast fact! The first man to walk on the moon was Neil Armstrong in 1969 on the Apollo 11 mission.
Mercury and Venus. Imagine that you're on Mercury. First, you see the sun. It looks very big. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. You also notice the temperatures. In the sunlight, it is very hot, 427 degrees Celsius. In the shade, it is very cold, 173 degrees Celsius below zero. Next, you see that Mercury is a lot like Earth's moon. There is no air or liquid water, and its grey rocky surface has got many craters. Craters are holes on the surface of the planet. This happens when objects hit the planet. Finally, you notice how fast Mercury moves. Mercury is the smallest planet, but it is also the fastest. It only takes 88 days to orbit the Sun. That means a year on Mercury is only 88 days long.
Mercury, named after Mercury, the fast messenger of the Roman gods. Size, 4,879 kilometers across. How many times it can fit inside Earth? 18. Time it takes to orbit the Sun? 88 Earth days. Number of moons? 0.
Next, imagine that you're on Venus. It is the second planet from the Sun. In some ways, Venus is very much like Earth. Venus is almost the same size as Earth. It has also got the same kinds of rocks as Earth. But quickly, you discover that Venus is a dangerous place to live. Its atmosphere is very heavy. It will crush you. The temperature goes up to 465 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to melt some metals. Acid rains fall from the sky too.
Venus, named after Venus, the Roman goddess of love and beauty. Size, 12,104 kilometers across. Time it takes to orbit the Sun? About 225 Earth days. Number of moons? 0. Fast fact! Venus is also called the morning star and the evening star.
Earth and Mars. Earth is the third planet from the Sun, and it is very special. It is our home. Earth is different from all the other planets because it is home to a wide variety of life, including human beings. This is possible because of Earth's atmosphere. Earth's atmosphere is like a big blanket around Earth. It protects life from dangers in space. Earth's oceans, rivers, and lakes give life-giving water to plants, animals, and humans. Earth is not alone, though. The Moon is Earth's closest neighbour. The Moon helps life on Earth. Without it, Earth could move backwards and forwards. The Moon keeps the planet steady. As a result, the seasons on Earth are also steady.
Earth, named after Gaia, the first Greek goddess. Size, 12,756 kilometers across. Time it takes to orbit the Sun, 1 year, 365 days. Number of moons, 1.
Long ago, people looked at Mars in wonder. Most planets looked like white lights in the night sky, but Mars did not. Mars glowed bright red. Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun. It is the last of the rocky inner planets. People call it the red planet because most of its surface looks red. It has a thin atmosphere and no oceans.
Mars, named after Mars, the Roman god of war. Size, 6,792 kilometers across. How many times it can fit inside Earth? 6.5. Time it takes to orbit the Sun? About 687 Earth days. Number of moons? 2. Fast fact. Olympus Mons on Mars is the largest volcano in our solar system.
Jupiter and Saturn. Can you imagine flying through the clouds of Jupiter? Giant storms blow wind past you at 360 kilometers per hour. Some of these storms are huge. In fact, there is a storm on Jupiter called the Great Red Spot. It is larger than Earth and Mars put together. Jupiter is the fifth planet from the Sun. It is the first gas giant and the largest of all the planets. The gas giants, or the four outer planets, haven't got rocky surfaces. They are mostly gas.
Jupiter, named after Jupiter, the king of the Roman gods. Size 142,984 kilometers across. How many Earths can fit inside it? 1,300. Time it takes to orbit the Sun? About 12 Earth years. Number of moons? 67.
Visiting Saturn, the sixth planet, is probably a lot like visiting Jupiter. But one thing makes Saturn different: its rings. The gas giants have all got rings, but the rings of Saturn are the largest. They are made of pieces of ice and rock that orbit the planet. The moons of Jupiter and Saturn are amazing. Some of them have got oceans under their surface. Scientists think that there may even be life on these moons.
Saturn, named after Saturn, the Roman god of farming. Size 120,536 kilometers across. How many Earths can fit inside it? 764. Time it takes to orbit the Sun? About 29.5 Earth years. Number of moons? 62. Fast fact! Jupiter's moon, Europa, has got more water in its oceans than Earth.
Uranus and Neptune. Nobody knew that Uranus existed until 1781. On the 13th of March, an astronomer named William Herschel looked through his telescope. He saw a strange object. What could it be? After several months, he knew the answer. The strange object was another planet, Uranus. It was the first planet to be discovered with a telescope. Many of Uranus's moons are named after characters created by William Shakespeare.
Uranus, named after Uranus, the Greek god of the sky. Size 51,118 kilometers across. How many Earths can fit inside it? 63. Time it takes to orbit the Sun? About 84 Earth years. Number of moons? 27.
Neptune was also a mystery until 1845. Scientists in England and France were studying Uranus when they realized that another planet was out there. This planet had a lot of gravity that was pulling on Uranus. The scientists used maths to find the mysterious planet's location. Finally, on the 23rd of September, 1846, the German astronomer Johann Galle found the eighth planet, Neptune. Neptune's moons are named after sea characters from Greek mythology. One of its moons, Triton, is probably the coldest place in our solar system. Uranus and Neptune are ice giants. They are gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn, but they have also got icy cores made from materials like water. A chemical called methane makes both planets blue.
Neptune, named after Neptune, the Roman god of the sea. Size: 49,528 kilometers across. How many Earths can fit inside it? 57. Time it takes to orbit the Sun? About 165 Earth years. Number of moons? 14. Fast fact! Since its discovery, Neptune has only orbited the Sun once.
Seven, the dwarf planets. In 1801, Giuseppe Piazzi looked through his telescope and saw a mysterious object. It looked like a planet. He called it Ceres. Soon astronomers found more objects near Ceres. They discovered the asteroids of the asteroid belt. Ceres was not a planet after all, but it was not an asteroid either. What was it? In 1930, Clyde Tombaugh also found what he thought was a planet. Scientists called it Pluto, but in the 1990s and early 2000s, scientists found more objects like it. In 2006, scientists created a new name for them: dwarf planets. Ceres and Pluto are both dwarf planets.
Ceres, named after Ceres, the Roman goddess of farming. Size: 950 kilometers across. How many times it can fit inside Earth? 9.982. Time it takes to orbit the Sun? About 4.6 Earth years. Number of moons? 0.
What makes dwarf planets different from other planets? The main planets are big. They have got a lot of gravity, so they move objects in space out of their way. The dwarf planets cannot do this. Ceres is in the asteroid belt. The other dwarf planets move through the Kuiper belt. Scientists know of about 5 dwarf planets: Ceres, Pluto, Eris, Haumea, and Makemake. There may be many more out there.
Fast fact! The dwarf planets are all smaller than Earth's moon. Pluto, named after Pluto, the Roman god of the underworld. Size: 2,390 kilometers across. How many times it can fit inside Earth? 151. Time it takes to orbit the Sun? 248 Earth years. Number of moons? 5.
Eight, asteroids and comets. On the morning of the 15th of February 2013, people in the city of Chelyabinsk, Russia, had a surprise visitor from outer space. A meteor 20 meters wide exploded in the sky. The light from it was 30 times brighter than the sun. Many people were injured and many buildings destroyed. The dangerous rock was an asteroid. It was one of millions in our solar system. Most asteroids come from the asteroid belt. This group of asteroids orbits the Sun. We can see them between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. When asteroids enter Earth's atmosphere, they are called meteors. If they land on the surface, they are called meteorites. In 1997, people around the world saw another object in space, but they were not worried. It was not a deadly asteroid. It was a comet named Hale-Bopp. Comets are mostly ice, not rock like asteroids. They melt as they get close to the sun. When a comet's ice melts, a tail forms behind it. Have you ever seen a comet? Many comets come from the Kuiper Belt. The Kuiper Belt also circles around the Sun, but it lies beyond the orbit of Neptune. On the 12th of November 2014, scientists made history when they landed Philae, a spacecraft the size of a washing machine, on a comet. Philae took 10 years to travel 6 billion kilometers before arriving on the comet. They hope that Philae can answer some of our questions about our solar system.